Larson, and I want to share a very valuable lesson with you today. My operations manager, Amanda, will actually be going through step by step so you understand every single nitty-gritty detail of how to do this operation. Here at Real Estate Mad Education, we don't believe in fluff. We believe in details. We want to give you actionable information that you can follow along with and go implement right away. I hope you enjoy this training. Thank you. When you sell a product or service, nobody's going to buy it if it's the same thing they already have or it's the same thing they're already doing. You have to clearly have them understand that you have a new plan that's better than their old plan. And you have to tell them what their old plan is so that they understand what their old plan is and show them why the new plan is going to get them to the promised land. Okay. So again, the only reason that somebody buys your product or service is if you have a different plan that's there because their current plan isn't working, right? Now, if their current plan's working, they probably won't pay attention to what you're doing. If whatever they're doing isn't working, they're going to have their eyes open. You have to share with them what your plan is and why it's different, why it's desirable. Okay. So I call out their current plan when I'm writing an email. If I'm going to do email marketing, you can do this through video as well. If I'm writing an email, I first help them describe their current plan. And then I show them why my plan, my new plan, is clearly different and desirable. Okay. All right. So let's go through an example here. I'm going to use my Podio MAX as an example. So let's say I call somebody out and I say, hey, if you're tracking your leads through a spreadsheet and you don't have any, let's say that, hey, I don't have a CRM, I'm tracking my leads through a spreadsheet. So you're missing out on all these other leads that you could be following up with because spreadsheets don't follow up. I could share with them how I have a push button 365-day custom follow-up plan where you push a button and walk away and it starts following up with all your leads in the background. Okay. I wrote an email right before I jumped on to explain this old plan, new plan idea. But the subject line would be, 3 times your contracts without more marketing. Benefit, risk removal, right? That's a good subject line. It builds curiosity. It shares what a benefit that they're going to get by reading it with risk removal. So three times your contracts without more marketing. Okay, name. You're sitting on 3 times more contracts with the leads you already have. But here's the problem. Most investors are working hard to generate leads. They are SMS marketing, cold calling, direct mail, SEO and PPC, and a bunch of other marketing channels. So what I'm doing is I'm laying out how they're marketing. All right. So I'm catching their attention. So first of all, I caught their attention because I'm telling them you're going to get 3 times more contracts without more marketing, right? That catches their attention. I want more contracts without marketing, risk removal. And then I tell them how they're currently doing things. Here's the thing. All those marketing channels work, but they're not cheap. You got to enter the conversation that's going on in the reader's mind, right? And the better that you enter that conversation, the more they align with you and they start saying internally, they say yes. What if I told you you are sitting on 3 times as many leads within the leads you already have? Here's how and why. Most investors are generating leads and then they talk to the seller to see if the seller is interested in selling. The house has a lot of equity. They could take a lower offer. The house is exactly what they're looking for, right area, condition, but the seller isn't motivated today to take an offer that works for you. So the first part of this email is I want them to get 3 times as many leads without more marketing. And they're already doing these things. So anybody that is reading this is saying, man, I'm doing cold calling. I'm doing direct mail. And then all of a sudden I'm saying, right now you're creating leads. You talk to the seller and the seller's interested in selling. The house has a lot of equity, so they could take a lower offer. The house is exactly what you guys want to buy, but the seller isn't motivated today to take an offer that works. How many calls, like us real estate investors, how many calls are we getting on like this, right? Tons, right? Then I go in and I say, let me let you in on a secret few understand. Okay. Most investors never talk to that seller again. Big mistake. Here's why. Things change constantly. The unmotivated seller gets very motivated when they get hit with an unexpected divorce, or tenants that stop paying rent, or a partnership that goes bad, or unexpected health problems arise, a sudden death, sudden job loss, or a permanent out-of-state transfer. So all of a sudden, okay, this stuff makes sense to the guy reading this. 75% of the deals we close come from custom follow-up sequences. We push a button and the robotic follow-up sequences take over for 365 days. What does everybody want? They want easy. They want automatic. So right now, somebody's reading this and saying, okay, yeah, I get that. Okay, I'm doing those marketing techniques. And yes, I do get on the phone with sellers and they have equity and they want to sell, but they don't want to sell for a price that I needed to buy for. But what he's saying makes sense because, yes, divorces do come up and tenants do stop paying rent and partnerships do go bad and so on. So these follow-up sequences happen in the background while you're doing something else, like going on vacation, taking the weekend with your family, doing other business, working your job. Close 3 times as many deals robotically with these tracking or robotic follow-up sequences. Click here to learn more. That's one deal more than pays for this whole system. Okay, I'll always add that somewhere in the email towards the end where they click. One deal pays for this whole thing.
If you want help from Matt's team to generate 10 to 15 verified buyer leads per day, send an email to hello@realestatemat.com with a subject line that says buyers.